Want a point and shoot film camera with a fast lens but don't want to spend hundreds of dollars? Then stick around for my look at the Pentax Pc35Af. Coming right up. The Pentax Pc35Af was released in 1982. Early models were made in Japan and then later production moved to Hong Kong. This one was made in Hong Kong, so it's one of the later ones. So the Pentax Pc35Af is a compact point and shoot camera, but it doesn't get a lot of the love or the hype that some of the trendy compacts like the Olympus Stylus Epic or some of the Contax or Yashica models do. One of the good things about that is the price hasn't been driven up by Kardashians or other celebrities. Let's get a hands-on look at the camera and check out some of the specs. Take a closer look at the Pentax Pc35Af. How do we open up the lens? In spring-loaded, dramatic fashion. Right there it is. 35mm focal length, and it does have a maximum aperture of f2.8. So it does match its rival, the Olympus Stylus Epic. And 5-element lens, again, pretty good for a point and shoot. It does focus from 0.7 meters to infinity. So again, pretty decent range there. The shutter on this, it's pretty quiet. It's an electronic leaf shutter. Ranges from 1/8 of a second to 1/430th of a second. It has CDS meter. Does have infrared active autofocus, which is nice. Take a look at the bottom panel here. You do set the ASA or ISO or EI manually here. This little lever does range from 25 to 400, so not a super huge range, but really that meets my needs just fine. You can see this one was made in Hong Kong, so again, not one of the earliest models. The early ones were made in Japan. It does have a serial number there at the bottom. And its battery chamber here, it's powered by 2 AAA batteries, standard tripod thread right there. This is actually the flash release here. Pop-up flash. Back here looks pretty scuffed up because I get most of mine at thrift stores like this one. You can see this flash indicator just popped on. It means flash is ready. Pretty powerful flash actually. If you're using 100 speed film, this will take up to about 4 meters. If you're using 400 speed film, you can get up to 6 meters. Top panel here, one other distinguishing feature about this one, backlight compensation plus 1.5 EV. Really nice feature on a point and shoot. You don't see that too often, so that again I think somewhat distinguishes this from its competition. Self timer there, pretty common feature there. Red shutter button. Frame counter there. This is manual wind. That also helps keep it a little bit quiet. One thing that is not quiet about this is its low light warning. This actually has 2 low light warnings. In the viewfinder, if you see the orange light up, that means that the light, again, may not be sufficient to take a decent exposure. Really what it means is that the shutter speed would be 1/30th of a second or longer, which is fine. It's nice it has an orange light in there to warn you about that. What's not so great and not so discreet is it has a big beeping sound that comes on too. I'll let you hear this. So again, in low light situations, really not too discreet. There is a way to disable this. It involves taking off the top panel, which if I'm brave enough to do here in the near future, I might go ahead and do that. And if I get it done, I'll probably go ahead and leave a card somewhere on this video. In the viewfinder, in addition to that low light warning light, you'll also see some icons for distances. It lists 1 person for 0.7 meters, 2 people for 1.5 meters, and mountains for infinity. Now that we've taken a closer look at the camera, let's check out some images. I really like using the Pentax Pc35Af. It's compact, but it's solid. It reminds me a little bit of the Olympus 35EC in that respect. Its metering and focusing are accurate, and even though it's a point and shoot, it does include that backlight compensation, which I think is pretty cool. So the Pc35Af, it is not sleek, it's not sexy, it's not trendy, but it is a simple, reliable point and shoot that's going to give good quality images and not cost you an arm and a leg. If you want to hear about more cameras like the Pc35Af, please consider subscribing to this channel. You can find more of my photography on Instagram and Flickr at The Old Camera Guy. Thanks for watching, and as always, do some good, have some fun, and shoot some film.